All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here for Conversations with Tanisha. And just like last time, my privacy settings were set to private again. So my intro was private. I was grooving with myself over here and my guest. And so, mentioning my guest, we're going to go ahead and bring on our guest, Miss Ashley Curry, and I don't think I I brought you in. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me there you
Okay, there I go.
there you go. All
I
right.
can hear me. Can't see me, but I can hear me.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's get you in. Guest one. There you are, Ashley.
Hi.
All right, so we have Ashley with us, and this is just going to be a conversation. We haven't talked in quite a while. So basically
Long.
just catching up, seeing what we've been up to because Miss Ashley's been up to some amazing things and she looks so beautiful over there.
You, friend. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we were chatting a little bit about the platform that we're on right now before we came in and decided to just bring it. And hey, Lessica, I see your comment. Let's see if we could. There we are.
Oh, cool.
Well, thank you for
Oh, there.
commenting. Glad you're here with us. So we're using Ecamm Live. Ashley is a Mac user, and I'm shocked that you didn't know about Ecamm Live.
No, absolutely. While we were had that little brief couple of moments, I was like, let me actually look it up and see. And I don't know, StreamYard's been acting up a little bit, so I might be in the market. But no, I like it. I like the aesthetic. I like how you're able to kind of customize some things. Yeah, I
Mhm.
like it.
Well, great. So what you been up to?
Everything, everything. So, I moved from Indy in what fall 2019. Corporate relocation. I'm still with Anthem, aka Elevance.
I hate that
Uh,
name.
isn't it? Um, you know.
Me, I
Uh,
could say that.
so I'm like, yes, you can say it. Um, yeah. So I moved down here, relocated, didn't know a soul in the Carolinas, and I was like, you know what? This will probably be the last time I'm able just to get up and go without any sort of anything holding me back, any encumbrances, right? So I've been down here. I was working in an analyst role for quality, a quality analyst, and that kind of had run its course after about 5, 6 years, and so I was like, I need something else. Wasn't a ton of opportunity for movement in my organization there, and so I started looking at other postings within Elevance,
Mhm.
found compliance, and it was really in alignment with kind of how my mind works anyway, and having been an analyst for so long, it kind of just went hand in hand. So as far as my 9 to 5, I work as a corporate compliance specialist, and I like it. I've been in this role for 2 years now.
Oh, good.
I really like it. Now, extracurriculars, I mean, my YouTube channel, all the social things, my reviews, like, I just kind of have my finger, my toe, my finger, whatever it is, in a couple of different areas. I still do eBay, a little Amazon on the side, like, you know.
Okay. Now I was wondering about the eBay because when we met, we kind of meshed in a whole lot of different ways. Back then, it was you were doing the eBay. I tried eBay. I sucked at it. But the whole plannering thing, and I say plannering because it wasn't planning, that's like a whole other universe of whatnot going on. But had that going and the crafting and all that. So I'm shocked to say that you're still doing eBay because it's like I don't hear much about it anymore.
Oh, it's still a thing. And
Mm,
it's still, if you can put in the sweat equity, like the reason I kind of moved into building in different areas, especially like in terms of online, like, using your personality, like it takes time to learn how to film, lighting, editing. It takes time to do all that. However, I feel like with eBay, it's so much more manual, right? Because you go out, you have to source, you have to kind of compare, you have to look up comps, then you have to go home if things need laundered, you have to take care of that. You have to quality inspect, you have to, do all the things, take pictures, measure, and then when it actually sells, after you've listed it, done your descriptions, then I have to go to the post office, right?
mm,
So while it can be money, 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 and the return on investment can be great, depending on how much you pay for your cost of goods, it's just a lot of work. So I was like, what can I kind of do? You know what I mean? So I still like it. I still think have about 50 items on my store right now. Back then, I think I had hundreds, like hundreds of items. But yeah, I just was like, work smarter,
okay.
not
So
harder.
it's still working. Okay. And then I saw
Absolutely.
that you had your own, is it you have a Shopify store also?
I do, but that's mainly for digital products, things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Um, I had tried drop shipping. Like I've been like over the years, I've tried so many things. Finally feel like now I'm finding my groove. So yeah, that's kind of like just for digital products at this point. I
Okay.
still craft though. I still play with resin and my Cricut and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hobbies.
Yeah, that's a lot going on. So do you still
Just
have the
trying to
Etsy
figure.
shop too?
Hmm?
Do you still have the Etsy shop too? Because that's where your crafts were on Etsy, right?
I do have an Etsy shop still too, but it's not really active. I don't have a ton of listings up there. And I need to look at that because I did create a lot of stuff. And so I have that stuff still, and I probably should list it just for a season. I didn't want to do anything. Like I wanted to acclimate to the new role. I wanted to figure that out. And honestly, when I took the new role, it was so much more money that I didn't really have to go as hard
Mm,
I did before, right? I had kind of gotten complacent. But now, right, as we grow and learn, you think, I need seven, to me, in my mind, I need 8 streams of income, right? I need to be building something because at the end of the day, like we love the company. You can love the company you work for and you could have tenure there, but at the end of the day, you're the only one who's going to look out for you.
correct. So true.
So build, yeah.
So true. So tell me about the Carolinas. You're in which one?
I okay, so here's the thing. I moved to Huntersville, um, North Carolina, because the office was in Winston-Salem, which was still like an hour north of where I was. Went through a thing, met somebody, got engaged. He had a home in South Carolina, moved to South Carolina, that didn't work out. So then I was like, I still like South Carolina, but I don't want to be far from Charlotte. So I've settled in Fort Mill, which is like 15 minutes from Charlotte. So I'm in South Carolina officially, but like I'm right on the border, North
Okay.
Carolina, South Carolina.
Okay. Yes, I'm glad
Yeah.
you brought up the whole engagement thing because that just kind of slid under the radar. And I was like,
Mm.
"Huh? What?"
And it should have stayed slid under the radar.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, can a thousand with you, something, and it's a whole story with this, and I don't want to take up all of the time tonight. Run my mouth because I do want to hear things about you. I mean. However, um, when I agreed to marry this man, that man, I told God, I'm settling. You're taking too long.
Mm,
He seemingly has integrity. He's kind. He works hard. I was like, that's good enough. Okay. And I told
mm,
God, I said, I'm settling. I'm gonna marry him. That's what I told God. And when I moved into that man's house, that man was a whole different man I didn't know.
mm.
Like insane. And the things that just transpired. And it was really it was so short-lived. We got engaged around my birthday. I moved in July because of an issue with my apartment, and my lease had been originally up in November, but they had to let me out of my lease because of issues. So within 3 months, I saw the other side of
Mm.
him and went through the most. And after that, I was in a brand new apartment nobody had ever lived in. From the time I told him I was done, I was out like the end of that week.
Oh,
Movers call.
kudos.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't stay around for tomfoolery.
We need to take that lesson, take heed to that lesson right there. When it's time to move, move. I
Absolutely.
know I stayed in, what was that?
And don't settle.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
better to wait because it was like I told God what I was going to do, and He was like, "Oh, okay."
So you told God what you were going to do, and he
Yeah,
said,
I told him, I said, "You're taking too long. I'm gonna settle.
yeah. And so we
That's what
got,
I'm gonna do." And it was like hell. Mm-mm.
yeah. So we got Lessica, she's in the comments and she's commenting on, yep, right thing to do. And then, yep. So, and that's what it says. And she says hers waited until they got married to flip. So you got the
That's the
peep show. You
scariest
got
thing.
the show ahead of time so that you weren't stuck.
I had never seen that in all my big aged years at this point. I had never seen someone turn on a dime like I'd heard about it. I'd seen movies. People I know have had experiences like that. But to think you know somebody and like their whole nature and character change, like that was shocking to me. And
Mm,
I'm so grateful that it didn't go to marriage because, like she said, so many people do marry people and they turn out to be
different.
nothing like the person they thought they were marrying.
Okay. So you're in a happier space now. Take it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
You're
free,
listening to
unencumbered.
God. You're not going to settle.
I mean, me and God are still having dialogue, but I'm over telling God what I'm gonna do. I think that got out of me
Mm,
completely. So now it's just like, but okay, God.
mm-hmm.
But we have this ongoing dialogue. But no, I am in my place. I love it. And just in a single space, enjoying dating here and there,
Okay.
mattering,
Mm-hmm. Now, how are you
entertain.
dating? Because
Okay,
I know,
so I was.
because I know when I met you, everybody was trying the online dating thing. And it
Mhm.
seems like everybody kind of met someone and was good to go, sort of, kind of back then. But I don't know. I didn't. It didn't. I didn't make it. So what are you doing? Give me some tips.
Okay, so online dating to me is hit or miss. You can meet you can meet some decent individuals online dating, but the the craziness that you possibly encounter um is not for the faint of heart. I'll say it's really about timing because at times there's going to be decent people. Somebody told me one guy I dated who was a really great guy, really enjoyed him. We connected on all cylinders, but we just didn't want the same things. He was like, a broken clock is right twice a day. And so that's my thought about online dating. So honestly, do you want me to be honest with you where I met like my last like real relationship?
Hmm.
He slid in my DMs
Hmm.
on TikTok. And so and aside from that, you would be surprised how many people like will come into your Instagram DMs, your TikTok DMs. I don't mess with Facebook DMs because Facebook is a whole different breed of person. Um But yeah, I think it's reputable. These men have been what the world considers high value, educated, land, home,
Hmm.
just,
So,
you
so
think that's unique.
we were talking about TikTok for something else, but so now you're telling me that TikTok has people we should meet out there
Well, I'm gonna just say
potentially.
that gentlemen from TikTok that have been in my DMs have been qualified candidates.
Nice to know.
Now, I mean, and that's just, clearly not my husband yet, but they've been enjoyable, gentlemen, nice guys. I think with everything, you really have to use discernment. I have a rule that like my bestie like filters and goes through any person that I'm potentially dealing with because she's an investigator. Um, because sometimes when you're so close to a thing, you can
Hmm.
cut off your discernment. So I like to have like a multitude of counselors that can say, Ashley, you didn't see that look in his eye. Something's not right with homeboy, right? Like, and I know the prophets, so I'll be like, listen, did the Lord say anything? And so if I don't get a check, so I have checks and balances in place. And I say that with even men you meet in the wild, right? Out and about, like
Hmm.
definitely discernment, definitely watch and pray and be wise,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been mainly because I don't get out of the house too much like that. Like I go to the thrift store, I go to my coffee shops, I do my little random activities, but I don't really go to like bars or clubs
Mm.
or you know, and I do need to do better about getting out and being social. I'm working on it.
Mm. I am too. I'm working on the social part. I feel like I've been in the house. I feel like I've been closed up for a long time. So I'm trying to open back up because
Was it
it's
the
just,
pandemic?
I think the pandemic magnified it and just made it that much more than what it already had been because I had been inching towards that anyway. And then the pandemic just made it that much worse to the point where I needed help. I'm getting help
Amen.
because people frighten me sometimes. I don't know. It's weird. But I like people in spurts.
Listen, I'm the main one. I'll be like active shooter. I don't like how I feel and I exit stage left. But I too go to therapy regularly. And that started last year. I went back to therapy and I was going like every week because let's not play around with this. Let's get to the bottom of whatever. Because I think, like you said, if you were already kind of on the verge of being introverted and staying home, the pandemic just amplified it, right? And so it was like, what do you do to get out of it? Now, I will say for you, I'm surprised because you were doing like, you were so involved in terms of like the step classes, you were doing different events back then, and you got into real estate, which is definitely like a people networking thing. So I'm surprised.
I know. And and I'm still kind of there, like on the sidelines of all that, but it's like because I've been so shut off, I just haven't been as engaged. So like with the stepping, I haven't been stepping in a while. And you were asking me if I had plans for tonight. It's first Friday, so first Friday is stepping here in Indy. And
Okay.
I just got a ping earlier this week from one of the ladies who was like, I haven't seen you out, in a while. So I may try to get out tonight. And I always tell myself that, oh, yeah, it's first Friday, haven't been out, I'm going. And then it's 12 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, didn't go, not going. And even after this here, so I've got a call to be on, a coaching call to be on after this. So I'm like, okay, that's 7 o'clock to possibly 9 o'clock. I'm going to have to be very intentional about going stepping tonight if I'm going. So
You
for any
will.
of the steppers out there, you heard it here first. If you don't see me, now you know why. But I hope to see you.
But listen, the party don't start until you walk in. So, and
Girl,
it just good around 10-ish.
that party's gonna be on my couch.
She said, I already know.
Mm.
But even if you can commit to, say, I was telling my friend about this because she's been having this thing about kind of procrastination, right? Or, really having a goal to reach. And when it just kind of comes and goes, right? And so I said, make yourself accountable. Like, if I don't accomplish this by this, I have to put $100 in my savings account that I can't touch or something, right? Or give that 100 away. You have to donate it. You have to do something that's going to actually be a consequence to your inaction. So maybe you say, for November, I'm going to commit to going out 2 nights out of the month or whatever it is. And if I don't, I'm going to find myself and I have to, I don't know, volunteer. I have to give money. I have to do whatever.
That's a good idea. But this here podcast is a start for me. So it's my kind of introduction to getting back out active and talking to people and just being a little more comfortable with myself because I've always wanted to do this. I've always said I was going to, but I always held myself back from doing it like, oh, nobody wants to hear from me. Nobody, what we going to do? What is it going to be like? But it doesn't have to be like anything at this point because I'm like, everything has I mean, mostly well, no, everything, because even some foolery is out there with value to someone. So everything has value to someone. They just need to know it's out there for them. And if I don't put it out there, then, there's no,
How would they
then,
ever know? Because we all have something that someone else needs.
absolutely. So that's my little thing for
Well,
tonight.
I'm proud of you. I'm super excited to see where it goes, what you're doing. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's so good to see you, and you look good. Like you haven't aged a day. Like I literally remember our shenanigans um on the Mercer team. Like I remember everything. Like I remember our little games we'd
Mm,
play, like, the whole decorating the desk contest for the
I
holidays,
know, I
like
miss that.
little giveaway thing. Like we had a time.
Speaking of giveaways, have you heard of Unbox Me?
No.
Because I know you were doing a subscription thing at one point, but I received a box on my doorstep and I don't know from who. So I need to ask around because it was very, very random. But it was this cute little box that had like a candle, some pens. You know how I love pens. It had a
Yeah.
journal in it and it had some champagne bears in it. Very
And
cute.
you still don't know to this day who gifted you.
So
But someone who knew.
if you're watching and you gifted me the box, thank you very much. I'm gonna ask around and see who actually did it, but at this point I don't know.
Oh my goodness, that's so neat though. And you weren't scared to open the box?
Um,
That
okay,
box still
so
be
the brown box I opened without issue, but the unbox me box, I opened it up. It was cute. I smelled the candle. It was a nice scent. The pens and the book, of course, I'm going to open. I've already written in it. And then the bears, I ate the bears. I'm not even gonna lie.
She's like, I used everything in the box. It was
And I
fine.
was telling my son's father, and he's like, "Oh, so you're just gonna eat the?" He's like, "You're just gonna eat these things? You don't know where they came from?" I'm like, I guess." I said, "But I'm
I already
calling you
did.
so that now you know if I pass out somewhere, she got a box."
Oh my goodness.
So
Everything. She said, well, what's done is done.
I'm still here.
Still
I
here.
looked it up online. I'm gonna use them because I think it was nice. So
That was. I hope you find out who it was. That's
I
so
do
neat.
too. Yep, I do too. So, anything else that you would like to mention while we're here? Because, I mean, the time went by very fast.
It did. It did.
We're
Well,
5 minutes.
and I am My Sweet Perspective on every single platform. Like My Sweet Perspective, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Um, I even have a My Sweet Perspective Facebook page, in addition to my regular profile. But yeah, that's where anyone can find me. And I do all sorts of reviews. I do a few vlogs here and there, but it's mainly TV series reviews, some movies, stuff like that. And I give my sweet perspective on just about everything because I have so many thoughts and
And
opinions.
and I'm telling you, you need to go check them out and listen to them because I don't watch TV, especially the shows that you're watching. I don't watch them. So to get the foolery that's happening out there and the things, I'm sure a lot of you are into these shows because they're the popular ones. And I just recently got into Tubi movies. Tubi is off
Oh,
the
you
chain.
uncharted territory. Those Some of those movies are a doozy.
Like, what the what? So, yeah. But for me, it's reading. So I will read versus watch
What are
TV.
you reading currently?
I just got finished with a book. It was called Nero, and I read some crazy romance.
Nero, like the emperor?
No, yeah, Nero. Yep. And he's kind of like a killer guy. It's romance. It's romance.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
But you
So do
know
you read
what? When
Colin Hoover?
no, I haven't gotten into Colleen Hoover. I know everybody loves Colleen Hoover, but mm-mm,
Love
mm,
her to pieces. I'm like, okay.
mm-mm. I might try, but I really like serial killer romances.
I had posed a question on TikTok and I asked everyone what their current comfort shows were. And do you know what 90% of the women said? It was either like CSI, Law and Order, serial killer documentaries. They said they go to sleep to them. I'm like, what are women's addiction with serial killer anything? Like they'll watch anthologies. It doesn't matter. As long as
Yeah.
somebody's getting killed and they're investigating it, like they're all
Yes.
about it.
Yes. So that's kind of my
That's
thing too,
my,
right?
that's my favorite genre. Oh my goodness.
Mm. So, all right. So I know we had Lessica in the comments, and Lessica, I want to thank you for being in the comments. And so we're here talking to Ashley Curry, My Sweet Perspective. Go to all the media avenues that she have out there, support. Um, and then yeah, if you want to reach out to her, do so. She responds to her DMs. We know that.
Some of them, not on Facebook.
Okay, so well, except for Facebook. So Facebook, you got to go over to the other spots. And then
Kidding.
yeah, so we're done here, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for being here this Friday night.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having
It was my
me.
pleasure. All right. Well, that's
You
it,
have a great
guys.